Hello everyone, how's it going? Billy Ballgame here, back with another video. On this channel, I'm just a dude who loves to talk about baseball cards. So, greetings and salutations to everyone from a rainy, dreary Middle Missouri on Easter Sunday. And pardon the voice, my wife and I went to a concert last night. For you metalheads, we saw Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine and a couple of other bands, and it was the most amazing concert I've ever been to, and my voice is shredded. So and I'm exhausted. The venue was about an hour and a half away from where we live, and then there was a wreck on the interstate on the way home that was right in front of us that we witnessed. So I had to stay and give a report to the police and all that other stuff. So we ended up getting back in last night a little bit before 2, and I'm wrecked today. But this is a video that I'm going to do today that's kind of been a long time coming. So as you all know, I consider myself a budget collector, and I'm also a huge fan of rookie cards. So today's video, I'm going to carry forward a series that I've done a couple videos on Hall of Fame rookie cards on a budget. And today I'm going to cover 1961 through 1965. So that gives us 5 years of Topps cards and Hall of Fame rookie cards. So all total on this list, and I took this list directly off the PSA set registry for the post-war Hall of Fame rookie cards set registry. I believe it's what it's called. And again, there are 13 altogether. I only have, I think, sorry, awkward pause. I'm pretty sure I only have 2 of these, and I'm going to show them to you as I talk about that actual card. And so in order for me to keep this air quotes budget, I tried to use cards under $300, and a lot of them off of this year, this year span of rookie cards fall under a $300 budget for air quotes collector grade cards. So I used SGC 6s and PSA 6s, and if they didn't fall below $300, I went down a couple grades to kind of give you a range of what these cards are selling for. And some of you, well, a lot of you are already going to know these cards. You probably already have them in your collection. But again, if you're newer to vintage, or you just thought Hall of Fame rookie cards are way too expensive for you to add with your budget, stay tuned to this video, because I think some of the values that these cards are selling for may surprise you. There's also going to be a group of you that say, of course these cards are cheap because they aren't inner circle top name Hall of Famers. And for the most part, you're right in that. However, there's some amazing players in these years and some amazing Hall of Famers that could stack up amongst the best of all time in certain positions, and I'll talk about that as we get through. So, and I'll put pictures of each one of these cards up here in one of the corners, so you can get a visual reference of them if you don't already have one. And then I'll also put the prices in PSA 6 and SGC 6 on the screen as well. And what I'm using is VCP's average price. That's what I always use on my channel. So first, of course, we will start with 1961 Topps, and we'll talk about the Ron Santo rookie card. And to me, I'm not a Cubs fan. I'm not a huge Ron Santo fan. Ron Santo is probably not an inner circle Hall of Famer, but in my opinion, this is an amazing looking card. It's got the rookie cup on it. There are a few cards where the 1961 Topps design really works with for me, and this Ron Santo card is one of them. 61 Topps, not my favorite set of the 60s, but I still love it, as I do with every baseball card I've ever seen. So this Ron Santo rookie in an SGC 6, its current VCP average value is $70 and some change. I'm not going to give change. I'm going to give even dollar amounts. In a PSA 6, it's $84. And again, this to me is the best looking Hall of Fame rookie card out of this set. Maybe rivaled by another one that I'll talk about here in a minute. But to me, that's incredibly cheap, and air quotes, collector grade Hall of Fame rookie card for under $100. I'll do that all day. And it's a shame that I don't have more of these, but I will work my way there eventually. And a 7 would probably be right at $100, maybe a little bit more. It's not going to be a super expensive card, even in a 7. And then next, another Cubs Hall of Famer is the Billy Williams rookie card. And it has the sweet star 1961 rookie logo up in the corner. And this is another really good looking card. In an SGC 6, it is $65. In a PSA 6, it's $66. So again, incredibly cheap. A 7 in air quotes investor grade is going to be under $100 in this card. Again, not my favorite player, not my favorite team by any means, but again, a really good looking card. And so last but not least, this may rival the Ron Santo for the best looking one in my opinion, is the Juan Marichal. And for all the talking that we do about pitchers being undervalued in the hobby, this is one of the more expensive rookie cards in this year span. And it's, to me, kind of surprisingly expensive. Now, there's no doubt that Juan Marichal was a great player. There's no doubt that this is a great looking card. Again, popped up in the corner. Just an amazing picture of him. Huge smile on his face. Looks like he's just happy to be in the big leagues. But in an SGC 6, this is $181. In a PSA 6, it's $207. So this one's a little bit more expensive. And as a matter of fact, it's more expensive than the two position players that I listed ahead of him combined. You could buy both of those cards for cheaper than you could buy the Juan Marichal. So just something to think about. But again, a lot of people, and again myself, I thought this too. I thought that the cost of vintage cards was too prohibitive, that they were too expensive, and I couldn't afford to get into vintage cards. And the more I dig and the more I find out about it, the more I find out that unless you're talking about huge cards of huge players, that there are a lot of affordable cards out there, and even of Hall of Fame rookie cards. And the next video in this series, I'm going to talk about their late career cards of some of the all-time greats in baseball that you will be surprised how relatively inexpensive their cards will be, I should say. So stay tuned. That'll be coming up on the channel at some point. I'm not really sure when, but I thought about doing it for this video, and I'm really looking forward to doing it. So it will definitely be on its way. So the next year is 1962 Topps. This has two Hall of Fame rookie cards. One is definitely a budget card. The other one, it's on the upper limit of what I would consider a budget card, because again, I set the arbitrary value at $300. So the first one is the Gaylord Perry. And again, as with Juan Marichal, I don't know, I think Juan Marichal won 300 games. I know Gaylord Perry did, and he pitched for about 170 years, I think. But his rookie card in an SGC 6 is $106. And in a PSA 6, it's $146. And I'm a huge fan of the 1962 Topps set. You either love it or hate it. I happen to be one of those guys who love it. And the next one is one that I actually have, and that is the Lou Brock. And if you've been around the channel for a while, you have seen this one in previous videos. And this is one that I remember wanting as a kid, that I've wanted forever, being as that even though, you know, he's on the Cubs on his rookie card, he did most of his heavy lifting of his career with the Cardinals. And so I've always been a huge Lou Brock fan, and was happy to pick this up and add it to the collection. So this one, in a SGC 3, or sorry, in an SGC 6, its VCP average value is $310. And a PSA 6 is $359. And if, again, that's stretching your budget too much, an SGC 5 is $189, and it's still going to be a great looking card. You can find really sharp 5s. Is, again, going to be $189. An SGC 4 is $125. And again, you can find some really nice 4s out there for a little over $100. You could go down to a 3 and still find a sharp version in a 3, and it would be under $100 card. So just an awesome card in my opinion. So that's going to wrap up 1962 tops. Again, there were 2, Gaylord Perry and Lou Brock. So next, this might be a little not controversial, but this set and these rookie cards, some of you hate them, or some of you dislike them very much. Maybe hate is a strong word. They're the Floating Heads rookie cards, and there are 2 of them that are Hall of Famers in the 63 top set. There's another big one that isn't a Hall of Famer, that is the Pete Rose, and it's about $1,500 or so in a mid-grade, so that's definitely one I didn't include in this list, but would like to at some point add to my collection. The Hall of Fame rookie cards on here are much more affordable than the Pete Rose. So first, we have the Tony Oliva in an SGC 6. It is $190. In a PSA 6, it's $239. So again, if you drop down to a 5, you're going to save money and can still find a great card. And then next, we have the Willie Stargell. This one's a little bit more expensive. In an SGC 6, it's $318, and a PSA 6 is $361. But again, just in my opinion, this was another card that was huge when I was a kid that I can't wait to add to my collection. But you can pick up an SGC 5 for about $250, and you can pick up an SGC 4 for $183. And of course, you could drop down to a 3 and still find a really nice example in a 3. Or even as my Hank Aaron rookie will attest, you can find nice examples of cards in 2s. So depending on what kind of condition on these cards that you're looking for, you can find every single one of these cards for under $100. So those are the 2 for 1963 tops. And then next, we'll move to 1964. The first one is the newest member of the Hall of Fame, Richie Allen, a.k.a. Dick Allen. In an SGC 6, his is $97, and a PSA 6 is $144. So if you're one of those guys like me who don't care if it's PSA or SGC, like, you could save a lot of money here picking this card up in an SGC 6 versus a PSA 6. And I actually prefer to get them in SGC slabs, just because I think a lot of them look nicer in the tucks. Again, it's just my opinion. Nobody's doing it right. Nobody's doing it wrong. But again, another great card. Under 100 for an SGC 6, under 150 for a PSA 6. And then next up, we have Phil Niekro in an SGC 6 is $130. In a PSA 6, it's $179. And on this Phil Niekro rookie card is Phil Roof, who ended up also becoming a pretty good pitcher over the course of his major league career. If I'm not mistaken, he was a 20-game winner. So again, just another super cheap card. Both of those 64s are really cheap, in my opinion. And then last but not least, we've got the 65 tops. And there are 4 Hall of Fame rookie cards in this year. And to me, this is really where you can up your bang for your buck tremendously, because in my opinion, there are 2 of the greatest players at their position, maybe in the top 5 or so of all time, and are incredibly cheap. So first off, we're going to start with Joe Morgan. He has 100 WAR. He's in probably the top 5 best second basemen to ever play. In an SGC 6, his rookie card is $149, and a PSA 6 is also $149. And I know a lot of you don't like combo cards, and there's a reason why individual rookie cards tend to be a little bit more expensive than combo cards. But in my opinion, these 65 tops in combo cards with multiple players on the rookie card look great, because I love the 65 tops design. I think it's amazing. And again, Joe Morgan, 100 career WAR, one of the top 5 best second basemen of all time. You can get his rookie card in a collector grade for under $150. You can probably get an air quotes investor grade for under $200. And then if you drop down to a 5, you would probably be in the $100 to $120 range. And a 4 is going to be under $100. So to me, that's a great deal, a huge bargain for a tremendously great player in Joe Morgan. Next, we have lefty, Steve Carlton. Again, I'm a huge fan of this card. I might be biased because he was with the Cardinals on his rookie card, even though he did most of his heavy lifting of his Hall of Fame career with the Phillies. This is a great looking card in my mind. And Steve Carlton is probably undoubtedly in the top 5 of greatest left-handed pitchers of all time. Just an amazing, amazing pitcher. His is a little bit more expensive, comparatively speaking. An SGC 6 is $200, and a PSA 6 is $219. If you drop down to a 5, you would probably be in the $150, $160 range, which makes this card much more affordable. And again, just a great card. For me, there's just something about the black and the red together that make this card pop, and I love it. It's a shame that I don't have it yet, but again, I will get there. Next, we have the Catfish, aka Jim Hunter rookie card. This is one I do have. I bought this at the National last year with my buddy Tom. And this isn't maybe one of my favorite rookie cards of all time, because there are 4 of them, and that just makes the picture really, really small. But there's a very young Catfish down there at the bottom. I bought this in a PSA 7 at the National, like I said, with my buddy Tom. And I paid $140 for this in an air quotes investor grade. Now, is that maybe a little bit of a misnomer, investor grade, when you're talking about Jim Catfish Hunter? Like, maybe he's not an investment worthy player. And that's why I think the term collector grade and investor grade are used way too loosely. But again, a great card. An SGC 6 is $93. A PSA 6 is $116. And again, I paid $140 for this in a PSA 7 at the National. It really is a shame I only have 2 of these. I don't have very many Hall of Fame rookie cards from the 60s period. I have the Carl Yastrzemski, and I think that's it off the top of my head that I have graded anyway. I love the Reggie Jackson. I love the Jim Palmer. We'll get to those in future videos. The Johnny Bench, the Nolan Ryan. We'll get to those at some point. Last but not least, we have the Tony Perez. And this one is incredibly cheap. Once again, part of that amazing big red machine from the 70s. In an SGC 6, this one is $90 at the moment. And in a PSA 6, this one is $136. So you can see how cheap some of these cards are. And in 5s, they're going to save you even more money. There are a lot of these that would be under $100 if you bought them in a 5, and they would still be great looking cards as long as you, again, this is how I collect. I would be happy to own these in 5s as long as I find nicely centered, sharp examples of 5s, because I really like centering. So again, 13 cards altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them can be had in either an SGC 6 or a PSA 6 or both for under $100. And to me, that's amazing when you consider, you know, how much some of the newer rookies and stuff like that are going for, of guys that have been in the league for a handful of years. And these guys are already in the Hall of Fame, and you can buy their rookie for under $100. To me, there are some tremendous bargains for rookie cards from the 60s in general, but especially from this 61 to 65, half a decade. In the later 60s, some of them get pretty expensive, but there are still some really good players that their rookie cards aren't terribly expensive from the 60s. The 50s is a little bit different of a story. It's harder to find an air quotes bargain in rookie cards from the 50s. And I would say that the 57 top set is probably a really good one for that. The 58 top set has a few bargain rookie cards in it. The 56 tops, Luis Aparicio, is pretty affordable. And then, in my opinion, for as great a player as he was, the Al Kaline is pretty cheap, relatively speaking, and as is the Harmon Killebrew. And so for me, those are, and probably Frank Robinson, and I mentioned the 57 top set, but Frank Robinson is probably, in my opinion, the most undervalued Hall of Fame rookie card from the 50s. I'd be hard-pressed to find one that I thought was a better bargain than Frank Robinson, even though it's about a $300 card, I think, in a 5. So let me see. What do we have coming up on the channel? So again, this is Sunday, Easter Sunday, April 20th. This week's going to be pretty busy. We're off tomorrow, but I have games. But we're rapidly approaching the downhill of the end of the school year. I have less than 20 days left of school. Baseball, depending on how deep we go into the playoffs, could last a little bit after the end of the school. But I'm really hoping, again, to get a video out every week. I haven't been watching as much YouTube just because, again, I've been so busy. I apologize. I try to catch a video when I can. So please be understanding and patient with me on that. Again, we're kind of getting ready for the card show in Columbia on May 3rd. Myself, Chris from Missouri, Tom, our buddy Tom from Jeff City, our buddy Coop will be there. My buddy Joe, Redneck Collector, will be there. My buddy Doug from Video Guy 316 will be there. If you live within a reasonable distance from Columbia and would like to attend that show, please come by and see us. Say hi. We'll be all set up. Maybe not all of us, but I know Chris, Tom, Coop, myself, and maybe Joe will all be set up. So please come by, say hi. And then again in June, toward the end of June, we have a show out here in Boonville that I've got to get the number of tables my group needs together so I can get those ordered from my buddy Justin so we can get ready for that show as well. And I've got a lot of my graded inventory. I've got it pulled out. As you can see, I'm missing a bunch of cards here out of my showcase. Really all I have left to do is price my graded cards, and then I need to go through and pull out some ungraded stuff that I want to take with me to the show and get that all priced and ready to go. So we'll see how these next two shows go, but I'm excited to go because it's been a while. And everybody's back from Strongsville. Thank you for the amazing content that you're all putting out. I was with you in spirit. Excuse me, the voice is bad. I was with you in spirit even though I wasn't there physically. And then once my buddies got back, Chris and Coop, I got some Strongsville gifts from them that I'll show on the channel. Chris wanted me to call him before I open these from the YouTube meet and greet that Chris gave me. Chris gave me the 88 Topps pack and Coop gave me the 87 Topps pack. But Chris wanted me to call him first before I opened them because I guess they come with a story, as with Chris they always do. But again, I'm blessed to be part of such an amazing local card community, and then as a whole part of the larger YouTube card community. And it was so amazing seeing some of my buddies from YouTube with some of the amazing pickups they made at Strongsville. I wish I could be there. I plan on it next year, and again, there's an announcement coming up related to that I'll probably discuss after the end of the school year because I'm not quite ready for it yet. But I'm starting to babble again, as I always do. I'm closing in on 30 minutes. So again, I hope that this video helped you get maybe some cards in mind that you never thought you could afford, but maybe I showed you that you can. And let me know what your favorites are of these cards in the comments below. Or let me know what you feel the best bargain is in these cards in the comments below. Or the most expensive. Whatever you think of these 13 Hall of Fame rookie cards, let me know in the comments below, and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about it. Because again, I'm just a dude who loves to talk about baseball cards. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up with that. If you're with me and you're not already subscribed, if you would do so, I would appreciate that tremendously. And I would also appreciate it if you could drop this one a like. So until the next one, I hope everybody has a good one, and I'll talk to you later.